The Supreme Court is set to hear a case this term that could dramatically change the internet forever. Ring of Fire's Farron Cousins joins me now to talk about what's happening. Case is long overdue, man. I mean, there has to be, you have a division. Obviously, you've got conservatives that say, well, anything goes, and then you've got liberals that say, if we disagree with what you say, we're going to censor it, and we're not going to show it. Those are the kind of the polarized avenues here. Supreme Court has to decide, though, what happens when the social media understands that people are being harmed, murdered, raped, kidnapped by the things that they post, and they clearly know, take the algorithms out, they clearly know that what they're posting is causing all that. What's your take?
Yeah, this particular case is absolutely horrendous. You have a young woman that was murdered by terrorists, and in the social media feed of the individual that did the killing, there were always recommended videos put out there by ISIS. So
Right.
It seems pretty clear you've got people being radicalized because there's no regulation over what is allowed and what is not. And you actually have both Democrats and Republicans, like you said, they do have two totally different positions, but they're both in agreement that we got to do something about Section 230, which is, Section 230, in case anybody doesn't know, say you're not liable as a platform for what goes out on your platform. And when you look at the details of this case, obviously it's hard to say that, no, we should let people post whatever. But repealing Section 230, in my opinion, also could lead to just broad censorship across the board. And
Okay.
that's what scares me a little bit about
Here,
this.
I'm looking at it as a lawyer would see it. Okay, first of all, the numbers of cases that we're finding with human trafficking that are completely related to the conduct of the internet, social media. The numbers of cases where we're seeing people bullied to the point that they're committing suicide, completely related to the conduct of social media. Now, here's the point. If you're going to make a profit, that's okay. Make all the profits you want, but don't come to court when I have them in court and I'm saying you posted this, it was foreseeable that what you posted was going to cause this child to go out and commit suicide. You knew that. Anybody with a brain should know that. So don't come to court and say, hey, we have a sophisticated algorithm system. Don't tell me that. Put human beings involved in that process, and if it's too expensive, then by damn, you're going to have to make less profit.
Yeah,
Right?
and the thing that worries me about removing Section 230 altogether is that if that happens, you will have social media companies that overreact. And that's where the extenuous censorship would come into play. They would look at anything, even political content saying, well, you're a little extreme here. We have to ban you from our platform. Oh, this we can't really go after. We're going to ban you from our platform. And so that's the slope that we have to avoid, but we have to do something about the problem too.
Well, it's a tangible problem. I mean, as you know what I do and what this law firm does. We're in the middle of these cases all the time. And we always have some cat saying, well, we got an algorithm system. It seems to work for it. Bullshit. That's ridiculous. These are companies that make a profit. Okay? Big
Billions.
profits. Billions in profit. So if you say to them, I'm sorry, you're going to have to change what you're doing, and you know what? It might cost you some money. You might make less profit, but if human life is at risk, 130 people were attacked in this story that we led with. 130 people attacked by Muslim jihadists, that just said, and the social media promoted what these folks were talking to each other about. They made a special little section.
That's how the algorithm actually works.
Exactly. Yeah, I got to tell you, 230 is it's kind of a nightmare, and there's got to be an in-between. There's got to be an in-between position, because right now, to give them a free ride just because they're social media and they don't want to spend the money bringing in human beings to make decisions like this rather than computers, I don't buy that, and it's not going to work in court. I can't wait for that closing argument where they said, well, we got algorithms. We got this down to a science. No, you don't have it down to a science. Regulators in Ireland fined Facebook hundreds of millions of dollars for violating the privacy rights of children. By God, it's about time, right?
Yeah, seriously.
And not only this is just so you know, this is all developing into a whole new area of litigation. Matter of fact, we're handling it. Talk about this case a little bit, though.
Well, what I love about this story is the fact that obviously here in the U.S. we should be doing the same thing, but we're not. So it takes the regulators over in Ireland to actually take action. And what Facebook, or Meta as they're called, has been doing is when you're 13 to 17, you sign up for social media, Instagram most popular, they hide your data because you're underage. Well, the regulators in Ireland determined you aren't doing that. You're allowing the data of these minors to be accessed by predators, by people with bad intentions, by just regular old people out there.
Dozens and dozens of cases that are emerging where they go to the data, they the catfish system, you name it, it's a whole industry. And then these children end up in being trafficked. And so we're seeing those cases because we're handling the trafficking problem as best we can in the U.S. We're handling some of the biggest cases in America on trafficking. But this is now emerging as part of that problem. And it's not that the social media folks don't know about it. They've known about it a long time. It is that, and it's clear that it's going to take a multi-billion-dollar hit before they get it. And my goal is to do exactly that. We have cases coming in right now where exactly that data that Meta said they were hiding, but it was accessible to anybody, was used to lure kids into being trafficked.
And again, we have this same information here in the United States. Our regulators, our lawmakers are asleep at the wheel, letting this company do this because they understand, and this is why they let it happen. Oh, if we limit the 13 to 17-year-olds, they're not going to have the content they want. They're going to leave the app.
That's right.
So we have to keep them because it'll cost us money if we don't.
Even though we're putting them at risk.
Right, and we think as a company we'll make more money keeping them here and exposing their data than we'll ever have to pay in fines.
What I do when I start a project like this, whether it's tobacco or opioids or whatever, we usually organize those projects. The lawyers that are coming into this see the same thing I see. And the problem is remarkably vast. And the industry, I think when we start discovery, we're going to find documents that show that they knew or suspected that this was going on. And then on the other side, they did an evaluation, a monetary evaluation, and said that it's worth the risk. It's a cost of doing business. We might get hit on 1 or 2 lawsuits where kids are trafficked, but we're making so much money doing it the way we're doing it that it's a business decision. We're going to do it anyway. We see it with industry all the time. So for some reason, we've gotten in this idea in the U.S. that social media is different. There's something warm and fuzzy about social media, that they're progressive and they're more like us. They're nothing like the average American. Nothing. This is a good story that explains it. I'm glad the Irish had enough courage to do this.